Thank you for watching our video. Please give us a big like, subscribe to our channel for new videos every day with amazing cars. Leave us your opinion in the comment section on the video. Thank you. You thought Daimler Chrysler was dead? The vehicle's on FCA US dealer lots today, more than a decade after the merger's unceremonious demise, say otherwise. Every Dodge in the lineup, 2 Jeep nameplates and the iconic Chrysler 300 sedan are either the direct result of the 9-year marriage of Daimler-Benz and Chrysler or are the descendants of it. Over the past 11 years, the Daimler-Chrysler name has been painted over on tractor-trailers, pulled off signs outside plants and ripped off the pedestal outside the FCA US headquarters in Auburn Hills, Michigan, but products generated by the laughably misrepresented merger of equals are far from exorcised. Even though they've all undergone some degree of intervention and improvement since Daimler cast off Chrysler in May 2007, they remain foundational pieces of the lineup. How intertwined does Daimler remain in the FCA US lineup? So much so that it is impossible to say that the Daimler-Chrysler era is truly over in Auburn Hills. Consider. The Dodge Charger and Challenger, along with the Chrysler 300, are descendants of the 1990s Mercedes-Benz W210 E-Class. The Dodge Journey, though it rides on a Mitsubishi platform, was developed by Daimler-Chrysler, though it debuted a year after the breakup in 2008. The Dodge Grand Caravan, which survived the planned phase-out last year to live on for a while longer, was last redesigned in 2007 by Daimler-Chrysler. The Dodge Durango, like the Jeep Grand Cherokee, shares a platform with the Mercedes ML Class. The Jeep Wrangler JK was easily the greatest single product decision made, adding 2 doors to create the Wrangler Unlimited, during the entire Daimler-Chrysler era. The last JK came off the line April 27 after a run that began in 2006. And it's not just vehicles and platforms. Under most FCA hoods is the Pentastar 3.6-liter V6 engine. Its development began in 2004, near the midpoint of the Daimler-Chrysler era, and continued through both the divorce and the fire sale that followed with Chrysler's ill-suited, improvident interim owner, Cerberus Capital Management. The Pentastar, Chrysler's best engine since the Slant 6 and the Hemi V8, debuted on the automaker's first Fiat Terra product, the 2011 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Since then, the engine has proliferated across the lineup, into Jeeps, minivans, full-size pickups and sedans, and it's the automaker's best-selling engine in the US and Canada. Also on the engine front, the current 2.4-liter Tiger Shark is a much-modified descendant of the World Gas engine, itself a byproduct of a failed joint venture attempted by Daimler-Chrysler, Mitsubishi, and Hyundai. Though it's not nearly as widely used as the Pentastar, the i4 Tiger Shark still lives on with technology devolved directly from Daimler-Chrysler. And even though one of the first decisions Fiat made when it showed up in 2009 was to move the entire lineup onto ZF 8-speed rear-wheel drive and 9-speed front-wheel drive transmissions, the Jeep JK Wrangler and the Dodge Charger Pursuit law enforcement vehicle still used a rugged Mercedes 5-speed automatic until late last month. Now that the JK has ended production, only the Pursuit remains on the 5-speed. What does it all mean? According to Dave Sullivan, senior analyst with Auto Pacific, it means the biggest beneficiary of the ill-fated union between Daimler-Benz and Chrysler was, are you ready for it? Fiat. Daimler and Chrysler were strange bedfellows, but their offspring, with tooling, amortized many years ago and continues to print money, Sullivan said. Daimler-Chrysler is a gift that keeps on giving, even in 2018. Daimler-Chrysler bit into an apple, spit out the seeds, and the tree is still bearing fruit. And that means one other thing, even failed marriages can produce beautiful offspring. Thank you for watching our video. Please give us a big like, subscribe to our channel for new videos every day with amazing cars. Leave us your opinion in the comment section on the video. Thank you.